Any collectors, which I'm sure like all of the collectors are like,
Yeah, idiot, we already knew this. Move on. You're reporting on stuff like 50 years ago. We already knew this. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for letting us know things that we already know.
this week we're going to do another one of those haul videos. Some things made it off my checklist, and I'm going to show them off, and then I will talk about my checklist afterwards because I don't want to bury the lead on it. So we got our patented black bag of death. But yeah, so we got some stuff. This is several weeks worth of haul. Let's start with this thing. So you may have recalled that I believe I told a story where I gave up on one of these so that you could have something special. And it was actually a good thing that I gave up on this because I found it a little bit later for a couple bucks cheaper. So I got a better deal on it than what I would have gotten originally. And it was the only one on the shelf that they didn't play ice hockey with and stuff. Like there was an IG-11, and I swear they like, you saw it. You back me up on this. Where it's like, yeah, they did just decide that they were gonna. Hey, look, there's a fence down there. Let's walk down the fence and just like drag this down the fence and see if it goes.
Can you still see your checklist that's definitely not there?
Shh. Stop it with the checklist. I put the checklist there to remind me because I actually know what's on the checklist. What's on the checklist?
I don't know.
Well, this is one of the things that's on that checklist that may or may not be over there. Is the deluxe edition Boba Fett. I'm kind of used to like the Transformers. They have this extra sleeve on this one side, and then they have like extra hands, and like their guns and stuff. So when I pick this out, I feel the plastic side on this, and I'm like, there's nothing there. It's just the side of the box. Deluxe Boba Fett. I have something to say about him in a little bit, but I will save it till the end. Only one thing that I see in this, and when I originally saw this, he has a gun that's split in half by Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. It happens in Return of the Jedi. Spoilers if you haven't seen Return of the Jedi, but it happens. And even though the lightsaber's not supposed to generate heat, they generate heat somehow. And the original photo has the gun with like red molten bits about it. And for whatever reason it's got green molten bits. Like, I don't get why they did the green molten bits. Like, who was on duty when they painted that day? And about like a week after I had found this one on the shelf, I had gone to our local, actually the same store that this came from, and they had like 6 of these, and every single one of them had the same paint job. Because I was looking them over, I'm like, oh well, maybe if I find one that has the orange or red paint job like it should, maybe I'll pick that one up. Because yeah, like I need to be chasing paint variants. But no, they all had the green. They all had the green stuff, and then I was there again today, and these were gone. They're good luck finding them. So I'm glad I found them when I did. I will come back to this because I do have some notes. Let's do this other thing real quick. So my complaint with Snake Eyes. Calm down.
I do drum rolls.
Oh, okay. My complaint with Snake Eyes is that Timber's painted on the side of the box, but they didn't give him a Timber. And I was on Amazon and I was looking through things, and they're like, "Oh, you looked at all these G.I. Joes. You'll be interested in this." And I'm like, "That's a smart idea. That's a way I could have Timber by not having. That's a way of getting Timber." It's these was it Schleck? I'll hold it like this so you can't even see it. She-Leek you used to have these. They were like educational animals at the time and stuff. And they have a wolf. A little out of scale to like the. I mean, it's more like a puppy, I guess, in comparison to Snake.
He's a puppy.
I won't know until I get Snake Eyes out, but I feel like he's just a little bit short to be to scale with the.
Worst case scenario.
I mean, I guess
lengthen his legs.
Technically, I can measure them against these guys because they're almost the same. I mean, Hasbro makes both of them, so they're probably pretty close to scale. I mean, I guess it looks. I don't know. What do I know? But now I have a Timber. I can't complain about Timber. until Hasbro starts actually putting timbers in the on the G.I. Joe figures. We were having this discussion where I'm like, well, what if they make Mutt? What if they make Mutt and Junkyard Dog? Is it Junkyard? I think it's Junkyard and Mutt. Don't quote me on that. Well, if I'm wrong, right down there is the answer. But there was Mutt and Junkyard, and Junkyard was he's the guy, he's like kind of like the MP, the ones that control the dogs, and Mutt is like, he's supposed to be a Doberman, or he might be a Rottweiler, he might be a Rottie. And like, well, if they release Junkyard but no Mutt, I'm gonna have to go find a Rottweiler like this to complete the set. But there you go. Any collectors, which I'm sure like all of the collectors are like,
yeah, idiot, we already knew this. Move on. You're reporting on stuff like 50 years ago. We already knew this. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for letting us know things that we already know.
But if you didn't know that, we had to go to Farm and Tractor. That's where we went. Farm and Tractor, is that what they're currently called?
Mm-hmm.
Tractor Supply Company. The Tractor Supply Company, that's what they're called now. We went to Tractor Supply Company, and the random thought that hit me earlier was that we probably could have gone to Michael's. I think Michael's carries this stuff too. But yeah, go to your Tractor Supply store or go to your Michael's and pick up a big fucking dragon and just like screw the wolf. You could have a unicorn.
You could have a badger.
You could have a badger. You could have like
you could have a bear.
Like just reassign everything. Like okay, Zartan has a badger, and Storm Shadow has a bear, and Scarlet has an MF dragon.
You get a pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl.
I saw a pterodactyl.
A pterodactyl. Like, come on. And they're finally a part of the collection.
That sounded like Mario.
Whoever cut in the box cut too deep. They cut the top of this box. I mean, this is what the notes that Riley is referring to that I don't have over there. Is I'm gonna alter the name, but I want to namethwomp.com and ordered a whole bunch of things that see, I was on the fence about pre-ordering stuff, and I'm like, there's a certain thrill of going to the store and finding it on the shelf and then buying it. Like that thrill when I found these, and same thrill when it came to this one. It was like, oh, I was looking for this. There's like a little bit of thrill that's there when you find them, and when you already have them, it's like, yeah, I already have them, whatever. But there was some stuff that was on my list. Boba Fett, the deluxe Boba Fett, and Zartan were on my list. They were like really high on my list, and I was talking to my brother about that, and he's like, well, things like that, generally have a problem. Like, I have a problem with the deluxe Mandalorian with Child. I can't find it anywhere. Never got the chance. And like my brother talked me into it. It's like, well, when it comes to stuff like that, pre-order it. Then you have it. But I'm like, oh, but then the thrill of the hunt and when I find it and stuff. And he's like, yeah, but he's like, look at your win-loss when you go to find it and you never find it, and then what's left is like these $100 collector versions that you don't want to pay for, like all these like scalper prices, and it's like, all right, I get it. So way back when, I went to namethwarp.com and I pre-ordered a bunch of things. I pre-ordered the Boba Fett. I pre-ordered the Zartan. Now this is where I need the list. I pre-ordered the Zartan. I pre-ordered the Deluxe Boba. I pre-ordered the Red Ninja. I pre-ordered the Flint, the Lady J, the Viper, and the Trooper. I pre-ordered 8 things. And it was like, oh, everything's great. And then all of a sudden one day they're like, nope. Canceled. Like, they just canceled all the orders. And it's like, what's the point of pre-ordering if you're just going to cancel it anyway? But then it went back to the thrill where it's like, oh, because you were with me when I found Zartan. I'm like, Zartan! And I haven't found Calm down. It's okay. I haven't found Zartan, like, since. I haven't seen the Zartan on the shelf since. When I saw this, I got super excited. And then when I saw, like, there was, like, 5, and then they're gone. And even this is, like, even though, like, I think the box was a little bit dented on one of them or whatever, but it was the only 2 on the shelf, and it's like, it doesn't the box doesn't matter. They're coming out of the box, so it doesn't really matter. So it's just like, I'm definitely not, like, pre-ordering from GameThwarp.com, sorry, NameThwarp.com. It's really weird because they have stores, and that's where I found the Zartan, is at the physical store. And it's like, I have no problems picking up at the physical store, but around here they're starting to close all the physical stores and push everybody to the .com. And everybody, like a lot of people, like, don't order from the .com. They do this a lot. So this is excitement. I found these, and then a couple days later, when I went to pick her up, I'm looking in the thing, I'm looking at the same store where that came from and this came from, and I'm like, oh, there's still no G.I. Joe pegs and stuff. And then I see a little peek of this artwork on the back. And I'm like, somebody's stash. I found somebody's stash. And I pulled it forward, and it was, what did I say? It was 3 Cobra Commanders, 2 Lady J's, and a Flint. And I knew these were coming soon because there was a lot, like, I keep checking Target because I'm still looking for the Cobra Isle stuff. Yeah, Target just keeps getting Cobra Commander. I keep seeing Cobra Commander. And I'm like, I suspect that Cobra Commander's shipping with these two. And, I'm getting there too late, and these two are getting picked up. And sure enough, when I saw these a couple days ago, when I saw these today, they were all with Cobra Commander. So I'm like, yeah, that kind of solidifies that idea. Now I'm going to go back to something that I said way back in like the first video, where it's like, I have a problem. I don't want to be buying every single one of these because, way back when I used to buy every single Star Wars, and I used to buy them in duplicates, and I don't want to be that guy, and I want to pick and choose what I like. What I pre-ordered is like, well, I like Flint. Flint was actually my favorite commander in comparison to like Duke. It was like Duke or Flint, and I liked Flint better than Duke, so I'll get Flint instead of Duke. Duke's sitting over there. And when they announced these, I was looking at these and I'm like, oh, this is cool. But I kind of liked like all the accessories. Like, she comes with a lot of stuff. And I kind of liked all the accessories and everything. And like, I'm Scarlet. I'm pro Scarlet, but I don't think I've ever owned a Lady J. I don't think I own the original Lady J, but I'm going to end up with the Lady J. As of right now, and this is not counting Cobra Isle, I think I'm only missing 2 figures. I'm missing Roblox, and I'm missing Roblox and Gung Ho. I should just give up and get Gung Ho and get Roblox. You were with me when we saw the Roblox, and I'm like, should I just give up and get this? More stuff that's just going to sit on the shelf, and then we'll just sit there and we'll look at all the numbers. I mean, let's look at the artwork's pretty cool in this one. I never really. I caved and I pre-ordered something. It doesn't come until much to the end of the year. I know you had like nothing to say this entire thing. You're just sitting there making eyes the whole time. I broke down and I pre-ordered the there was 5 figures. I pre-ordered 3 of the 5 figures that were for the Snake Eyes movie. It was the 5 of them were Scarlet, Baroness, Snake Eyes. I can't remember the female ninja's name. I'll pop it up right here. And Storm Shadow. And as much as I like Scarlet and Baroness, I'm more into the ninjas. So I pre-ordered the 3 ninjas. If I change my mind at the end of the year, I'm hoping that I'll just find the other 2 on the shelves. I'm hoping that Mamazon.com don't cancel their orders like NameThwomp.com does. I don't know. I've never pre-ordered anything through Mamazon. So I don't know. I do have a figure that I ordered to replace the Cara Dune figure. There it is. More stuff. Smoosh the like button. Smoosh the subscribe button. Comment. Please, let us know what you think of the videos, and help support us at patreon.com/bestotv. It's been another live-ish video, and let's go record a podcast.